This is week 11 of the Wednesday blockchain webinar. I'm the host, Matthew Sendejas. Every Wednesday for the last 11 weeks, we've gotten together with a small group of people who are all interested in blockchain technology. We talk about NFTs, we talk about cryptocurrency, we dive into the metaverse, smart contracts, whatever we're interested in at this time of the week, we kind of dive into those topics. And every week we go through various topics. And this week I wanted to start the webinar by sharing some of the biggest organizations in the world and how they're using some of the blockchain technology. And so I got like 4 or 5 different companies that I wanted to share how they're integrating into the blockchain. And since like 2017, all these companies have been hiring developers to work on like pseudo projects or like projects just to test the technology. And some of them have hired over 600 developers back in 2016 and now have over 15,000 developers working to build blockchain open source technology in their companies. And some only have 1,000 to 2,000 developers right now. But all these companies have thousands of developers, all started with only hundreds of developers in 2017. So the first one I'll talk about it's called NCR. This is a 140-year-old company who's been making cash registers, and they purchased a company called LibertyX last year, and it was a Boston-based startup company, and they had 30,000 Bitcoin ATMs. So they bought 30,000 Bitcoin ATMs, and then they bought Cardtronics, which is a company that had 280 million ATMs. And they have said that they're willing to convert all of their 1.5 million different locations in the world, all to cryptocurrency registers and cryptocurrency ATMs. So the oldest registered company is ready to get on board with taking crypto transactions all around the world. And then the NBA in America is now doing Top Shot basketball cards. Their company is called Top Shot, and they sell digital trading cards. So just last year they had almost $1 billion in sales, and they just hit like 992 million as of December. So they're doing great. They have traction, and they're now selling digital cards on a blockchain system. So people are buying different moments, so like Anthony Davis or LeBron James dunking or Steph Curry shooting a 3. And you can collect the cards. So now there was Pokemon 20 years ago, and now there's digital trading cards. One of the coolest companies I read about was Adobe. And so Adobe is an artist, an art creation platform, right? You can create art. That's Photoshop, that's Illustrator, that's Lightroom, editing photos, making videos, that kind of thing. And Adobe is now allowing content creators to prove that they are the content creator when they make their art. So you can basically log into the blockchain when you're creating a new art piece, and that when you create the art piece on the blockchain, it says who you are, what time you made that art, and if you used anybody else's art, then you can give them credit. So not only are you getting credit for the art that you're creating right then, like Ryan, you're creating those little useless goods. If you're creating that would be stored in the blockchain. If you did it in Adobe, and then nobody else in the world can make that same thing with the same colors, the same shapes, the same size, that whole deal. And then if you used anybody else's art, you would give them credit. So they would get the credit that they deserve. You would now establish your credit as an artist, and then nobody can copy you. So that is a huge thing. I think Adobe is going to be providing artists with a way to establish credibility and establish trust, and make sure artists are getting their piece of the pie they deserve. And then the owner of Twitter, he stepped down from the CEO position last year and now is stepping up in his other company called, which was Square, a mobile payment company. You connect to your phone, you can swipe a credit card on this little device. You are kind of like a PayPal thing, but Square is now changed their name last year to Block. And Block, now it's kind of a reference to the blockchain, right? They're really trying to move forward with the blockchain technologies, and they're the mobile payment company, and just that name change alone, and the Twitter guy stepping down and stepping up into the block is a big indicator that they're, yeah, right there, Kelly. Boom. Great for artists, or great for if you do boothing or boothing at farmers markets or anything like that, where people want to pay card and they don't have cash. Well, they can swipe that. Okay, so Walmart, another company, they are tracking 1,500 items from their store now under the blockchain. So they do not have everything in their stores under the blockchain, but they are working hard to figure out how they can get more items on the blockchain. And so what an item on the blockchain means is, if you pick up a bag of coffee at Walmart, and that bag of coffee through the blockchain, you should be able to look on the blockchain to see where that coffee was made, when that coffee was bagged, when that coffee was shipped, and when that coffee was put on the shelf at Walmart. This would all be logged, and this would all be tracked and transparent through the blockchain. Also, it would be it's the way to know where the coffee is from, like geographical location, and even what farmer produced it, and even when it was harvested. So the last company I want to share is called Baidu. They have right now the 15,000 developers working to create an open source blockchain database, because like when we say blockchain, some of them will be open source, some will be closed source. Like think about a school or a hospital, they're going to be closed sourced blockchain system, but something like Safeway or Walmart, or you're grabbing an item off the shelf, you're going to want to see the entire history of that item. So that would be an open source blockchain. So it only makes sense that schools and hospitals will be closed source, and other things will be open sourced. But Baidu, the 15,000 developers, they are one of the largest AI and internet-based companies around the world. And I wanted to share them because with the number of 15,000 developers, you can only imagine how much traction they're building and what they're accomplishing behind the scenes. So those are 6 different companies, some of the biggest in the world. These are some of the biggest numbers and biggest statistics that I could find. But I think it speaks volumes that a lot of companies are willing and moving with the blockchain space. And in terms of the cryptocurrency and how much crypto they will accept or take, that's kind of unknown. But in at least the blockchain application is coming and is already here. So that's kind of what I wanted to share. Those are my 6 companies. What are some of your thoughts on either of those companies?
Can you repeat all 6 of them real fast?
I know, but that was too many words to repeat. Well, the one that interests me the most is Adobe.
Yeah.
Right. We're giving artists the ability to, embed in the blockchain when they're creating it, who they are, what art they're using. Like, I think that's huge, because artists just don't get their credit right now.
Yeah, and I think transparency and like tracking is one of the main crucial things there. So that's good that they're working on that, I guess.
Yeah, when they did it and who they are. Yeah, what's up, Tom?
One thing that I think that's cool about Adobe getting into the NFT space is not only can artists like actually turn their artwork into NFTs, but if anyone publishes documents or books or anything like that, anything that's just file related, it just makes it easier for them to get into the NFT space and to get compensated for their ideas. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I think that's really cool.
Yeah. What about you, Kelly? Have you ever used Adobe? Are you digital? I know you do awesome physical art. Have you dabbled?
I have not gotten there yet. I can't afford Adobe for one. I can't afford Photoshop. It's a bit out of my
It is expensive. Yeah.
Pay scale. But I found a couple of like free photo editing and art editing programs. I just haven't like gotten there because I don't have I don't have a proper scanner, and in order to digitize my art, I feel like, yeah, it's
it's a whole nother medium. Yeah,
yeah, it's a whole new thing.
Yeah.
But there are so I belong to multiple groups of artists that do acrylic pouring,
Mhm.
because it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
And I follow a lot of artists on Instagram, and there are I follow a couple of artists that actually do digitize their art
Mhm.
and manipulate it, and it's great.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
it
it
is
is
kind of
cool when
like
they.
it's kind of inspiring, and I do want to get into that as a next step, because the fluid art does lend itself to a lot of. Let me see if I can get this out. It's kind of jammed in here. Here we go. As you can see,
Oh
it's kind
yeah.
of cosmic, right?
Super.
So it lends itself to being like really like opportunistic to
Mhm.
manipulation and really
Mhm.
fiddling around with it.
I see what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. So I do want to do it, but just time hasn't allowed yet.
For sure. And I totally know what you mean. It is a whole new thing.
Yeah, it's a whole second set of art medium
Mhm.
to play with, and
Mhm.
yeah, it's just time.
One Super Bowl commercial I wanted to share here. I'm going to share my screen. I don't know if any of you guys watch Super Bowl commercials, but this one was kind of funny. It relates in a way to this.
Zac Efron.
Multi-gig speeds is pretty next level, huh? Yep. It's gonna change the game. Oh, like it's really gonna change the game. I know. It's way faster internet, which means I can stream in 4K to every room in the house. Yeah, but it's not just that. It's reliable. So it won't let me down when I'm deep in a multiplayer endgame. It's actually 99% reliable, but whatever. What's more important is that now we can maybe start creating content differently. Obviously. Uploading a huge file, producing content, and live streaming it all at the same time, buddy? Yeah, I know. But do you though? I mean, this level of connectivity could open up the door to the future. Yeah, buddy. Creating and consuming content is about to hit a whole nother level. Like a super highway of bandwidth. Crazy good security. Crazy game. Yep, multi-gig speeds could change the way we game forever. Oh my god, you're Zac Efron! Do you even game, bro? You are a girl, bro. Nuts.
A little bit of the meta commercial action there I wanted to share. Thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah, more and more commercials I'm seeing have like a headset in them or like something that's referencing it.
Like slowly normalizing it a little bit.
Yeah, it's gonna take time, but it's getting there. I think. Can you unless you sorry, it kind of goes off topic from the
No,
commercial.
we're good.
Okay. Can you kind of talk a little about what Square did again? I know you said it and I kind of blanked on it.
Yeah, I didn't say much about it. What I mainly said was, so the owner of Twitter, or the CEO of Twitter, stepped down Twitter last year, and he also was the owner of Block, and so he's really went full force on Block now that he's not a part of Twitter anymore. And just the name change from Square to Block says a lot in how they're trying to be more savvy with the blockchain. But I kind of want to look them up.
Yeah, like what are they doing
and like
with the blockchain?
Right. Oh, change his name to Block.
Senna Square is gigantic.
Yeah, so for a selling business, mobile payment application, Block is a new name, but our purpose. of economic empowerment remains the same. No matter how we grow or change, we will continue to build tools to help increase access to the economy.
So it's just kind of saying that they're going to start moving that way and supporting
So,
that, it seems.
Their focus is on financial services made up of Square, Cash App, Spiral, and Tidal. We build our tools to help more people access our economy. Square helps sellers run and grow their business with its integrated system of commerce solutions, business software, and banking services. So mostly financial services, banking services, but it sounds like with the name change, they must be going into crypto. It's developing an open developer platform to make it easy to access Bitcoin and other blockchain technologies without having to go through an institution. Okay, so they're trying to be able for us to move Bitcoin without having to go through an institution. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like that. Glad they're getting into it.
Yeah. Have you ever used Square?
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. I've used it in quite a few different instances.
Mm-hmm.
And I just remember when I was like a couple years ago, or maybe, yeah, a couple years ago, when I started really getting into like the stock market when I first got into it.
Mm-hmm.
I just remember looking at them a lot and watching them just shoot up and shoot up. Yeah.
What have you guys been, or has there been any research in the last week on anything blockchain related? Oh yeah, Ryan?
Not quite blockchain related. I just had a link. I'm trying to find it. But I was hoping to get some more information about staking. Do you know, have you done any staking, or Tom?
I haven't done any staking, but I got some info on it.
Okay, because
I've staked a little bit.
Oh yeah, why don't you help us out? You want some info on staking, Ryan? Tom, you want to help us?
Yeah, let me say why real fast though, so maybe you can get a understand why I'm curious. Because Sandbox, which is one of those metaverse worlds that I'm pretty into, they just started being able to stake their currency, their like world's currency, which is sand. And I have a ton of sand. I mean, not a ton. I have some sand that I'm holding just because I think it's going to go up. So I figured now that they're like offering staking, I should learn more about staking.
I see.
So yeah.
I see. Okay. Good reason.
So basically what staking is it's keeping the network up and running using the currency as the gas to do that. And I don't know about other currencies in staking. Mainly what I'm familiar with is Ethereum staking. And there's many ways that you can do that. If you have at least 32 ETH, then you can start your own node. And what that is basically setting up your own mining rig. But instead of like using graphics cards as power, you would just use your computer with your ETH as the gas, like to keep the node up and running. But the thing is that if your computer ever goes offline, or like you get disconnected from the network, there's a penalty for that, and you end up losing the ETH that you staked as the penalty. So I'm not sure how many increments you lose, but that's one of the riskier things about staking by yourself. But the reward's a lot higher. I think you can get up to like 6-7%. It's been a while since I've seen the percentage for that. Mainly what I do, because it's a lot easier and there's a lot less stress, is Coinbase offers a staking service. And I think right now they offer about 4% APR returns in ETH that you get paid. And I've been doing that for a while, and it's been a pretty good amount that I've been getting back. But the thing is that while Ethereum, while it's still in the process of switching to proof of stake, the ETH that you stake, you can't withdraw from the staking pool until they've made the upgrade to the network. So it's kind of a commitment in that sense, and you're not able to get your gains until the switch has been made. So there's a little bit of risk in that. But honestly, like if you're holding for the long run and you really believe in the technology, the network, and the project, I highly recommend staking, because you can get big returns in that. And yeah, it helps the network stay strong and keep up and running. If that is there anything that I should elaborate more on? Like, do you have any questions?
So let's say I stake a certain amount of sand in here. I guess you don't know this one specifically, but the amount of or the like time that they have to, or that they hold it for, that you can't get it back. That's what I'm a little curious. I'm like kind of stuck on. Will it usually just say somewhere?
Do they explicitly say how long you have to have it in there? The only reason I said you have to hold it for ETH is because of their network switch. I'm
Yeah.
not sure about sand and stuff. They might let you withdraw it whenever you want. Some blockchains can offer that.
So I know
But,
they're doing it on Polygon, and that there's no gas fee. I had a address, or I had like a page up that talked all about it, and now I can't find it, but I will find it. But yeah, it's still just new to me. I'm just gonna have to read or like hear something like that a few more times. to understand.
basically staking's just using the currency that you have as power for the network to keep it up and running, and
Mhm.
you're being paid for that. It's the same thing as like having like a savings account or something like that, and just being paid interest on supplying the money to the bank. You know what I mean? Because when you supply money to the bank, it helps the bank stay up and running. I think it's the same thing for like staking, only a decentralized version.
So you're saying if the computer, so like, let's say my dog runs over my wired connection and my internet shuts off, there's gonna be a penalty?
That's only if you're like creating the node and you're doing it all by yourself. There's things called staking pools where people all pool in their funds so that they can get returns on that. But the thing is that someone has to keep that node up and running. There has to be a computer that stores all that currency, and if that computer goes offline, then you can get penalized for that and start losing small amounts of your currency. So like I said, the reason why I stake with Coinbase is because they offer some sort of insurance, like they give you some assurance that, you know, your funds are safe, and they have like top of the line systems always up and running and stuff. So yeah, it's more risky if you try doing it yourself, is what I'm getting at.
And having 30 Ethereum is pretty hard for any of us probably, but with other coins, other coins to become the node, I mean, do other coins have different limits, like of how many coins you have to become the node?
I think so. Every blockchain is different, so however they set it up for their system, so you would have to do research on that. I'm just mainly I specialize in Ethereum, so that's more of my like strong suit of knowledge.
Okay. You just put a link in here, Ryan?
Yeah, it's the page that talks about it. I don't know how in depth you want to go on this, but it just gives a lot of information on it, on the staking of sand.
Yeah, this is really good stuff.
And there's like, I don't know, there's something I'm trying to do that I'm having problems with that I think you've done, that we can maybe talk about at a later time.
Yeah, well, what are you talking about?
Yeah, if you share, can you share that screen, or is that too
annoying? Let me
annoying?
share this. Yeah, you want to look at some here?
Yeah, so let's scroll down slowly to where it says Ethereum Bridge. So scroll down right here.
Yeah.
Up a little bit. So I'm having problems switching to the Polygon network. Yeah, through the MetaMask. And I thought I did it, and then I tried to send Matic to it, and I wasn't able to. Or I'm trying to claim that wearable into Decentraland, which requires me to, I can't think right now and use words.
So
you know what I'm saying?
So like on my MetaMask app right here, Ryan?
Yes.
So like when I click
let me
this,
make your screen bigger.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So when I click where it says wallet up there.
Yes.
Let's see. I click that and then this pops up.
Yes.
And these are all the different networks.
Okay.
I have Ethereum network on the top. I don't know if it's backwards by Ethereum. Like, and all these ones that come with the MetaMask. But if I scroll down, these are networks that I've added. I've added Polygon, and I've added the big what is it, Binance. It's just called Smart Chain. So if you needed to switch to the Polygon network,
I'm gonna have to
you would
add
have
it.
to you'd have to click on this Polygon one.
Yeah, see, and I did that. And then I tried to send Matic to this address and it went to,
Yeah,
my-
and then you got to copy this address here.
but that's gonna be the same address as your address that's not,
No, it's different.
you sure?
Yeah, this address is different than your MetaMask address.
Look at it and tell me that after you look at it.
Oh wait, I see what you're saying, but it's different because I have different coins in both of them, and I've been able to sell, or I've been able to send.
So this is, I think I set up the Polygon network wrong. Because now the Matic that I sent to the address is going, it's under like my MetaMask address under assets. But when I go to the Polygon network that I tried to set up, it says 0 ETH. So I think that I just, that Polygon network I set up, I did that part wrong. Cause did yours already say Matic when you did that?
Yeah,
Okay, then I think
mine says Matic too.
automatically.
Yeah,
Okay, then I'll have to look. That's
yeah,
what
and mine says Matic and then 0.
Okay, see, I tried to set it up. I must have done it wrong. It says Polygon, but then it says 0 ETH and it doesn't even say Matic. So I'd imagine,
I think because yeah, I can't remember.
yeah.
But maybe we can dive into that.
Yeah,
further.
that's kind of,
that's good stuff though. This is all real wallet stuff.
but so like on that link I sent you, just the main things it says, is that you can stake sand tokens. It's through the Polygon network, which is cool because it's no gas fee, right?
Heck yeah. Uh-huh.
It says they're giving 500,000 rewards per week, which is, I don't
Whoa.
know, that sounds like a lot of reward.
Yeah.
Yeah, it says that it'll pay you back based on what you contributed to the staking pool every 7 days. That's what I read from it.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It starts February 11th, so it started 5 days ago or 6 days, so it's like, it's relatively new.
Yeah.
Which I imagine that, I mean, I still don't know staking too well, but I imagine if it's the start, you're probably gonna get more rewards than when more people are staking, right? Or maybe that doesn't work that way. Or at least,
Good.
I guess you get prizes, right? Rewards, yeah, because there's less people. Yeah, so the 500,000 sand reward is for the first 4 weeks. So it's like week 1 is about done. So I'm like, I want to probably stake my sand for this next 3 weeks. So I could be in that big reward system. So that's my goal, I guess, over the next couple of days, is to figure out how to do that and stake for my first time.
Okay. Yeah, that's exciting. Yeah, just figure out how to. Yeah, once you get the Matic over there, huh? Or the
Well, I don't even.
sand.
I just need to get the Polygon network on my MetaMask wallet, and then I'll be golden, I think.
Yeah, maybe YouTube a video of like how.
I think it even shows on here, like right under that Ethereum to Polygon.
It was trying to say like how to.
And so I'll just really try and pay attention to this and follow it.
And YouTube, always the friend there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Simple actually showed it to me one night of how to do that and add to the networks, and I remember being super confused.
Yeah.
But he did help me. Cool. Well, that's good info. I wanted to go to. Has anybody taken a look at any of the resources in this Google Doc? I added to it. I want to show some of the things I added. And just so you know that it's there, some of the tools and things that we've talked about the last 10 weeks, some of the different wallets, some different blockchain places you can buy different NFTs or cryptocurrencies at, different exchanges. There's the Ether cards Tom talked about, Mirror Protocol, Blender, VLaunch,
I
This
think that's a
tax,
very valuable piece of information. So keep doing this. I haven't looked at it yet, but there will be a time when I'm gonna try and dive deep into things.
yeah.
And I'm gonna look over all of this. So
Yeah, I thought this was I thought this was really good too, and wanted all this for all of you because we've been talking about great things every week, and I want a place to log it all. So the last things that I met or wrote on here were about taxes.
yeah,
Because Kelly, the article you showed last week about taxes was amazing, and I learned so much reading it.
Yeah.
And I learned that, if you're mining cryptocurrency, that's a form of income. So you're getting taxed on income. If somebody sends you Bitcoin or Ethereum, or you buy it, then that's personal property. That's taxed as property. And then you could have capital gains. So between mining, between staking, between buying or getting gifted, those are all different taxed. So I really encourage anybody to read this tax information. And if you do buy crypto and you're going to do your taxes, the 8949 tax document is the one you need to do. But I really tried to do well with putting in the different types of getting crypto and how you're taxed. So definitely take a look at this if you're willing to dive into the tax deal. Because it's a little vast, but not too bad. I was actually having a fun time
I
reading
mean,
about
it's kind of like the way that you buy and sell stock to some degree. Some
Very
of it
similar.
is.
Yeah, some of it is,
There's some similarities and parallels,
Mhm.
and it's different. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. It's a lot to take in. I mean, I have an accountant. I don't do my own taxes anymore.
Yeah, I know it is a lot to
I
take in.
can't. It's just way too
Mhm.
much. I have this is my taxes.
Oh boy, yeah, there you go.
Like,
You're getting ready for tax season.
I don't do it anymore. I can't. I organize the stuff and give it to him, but
Well, we only got so much bandwidth up here too. We can't.
I don't file it because I don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah, no, none of that. Yeah, so some of the differences in incomes for crypto, if you earn it as a job or you get paid in crypto from your job, then that's the same as like getting treated as self-employment income. And then if you're staking crypto, like we were just talking with Ryan, or you're earning interest through lending crypto, then it'll be Schedule B on your income. And then Schedule 1 would be if you earn crypto through like airdrops or forks or wages. So there's differences in taxes when you're getting crypto. And I think there hasn't been enough education on taxes, and there's not enough YouTube videos on it, but I'm seeing more. So hopefully there'll be more info, but this is a great resource. And this is again shared with everybody who is, let me make sure. Yeah, all of you who are on the blockchain do have access to this. So Ryan and Tom, you should see an invitation somewhere. Oh yeah, there's Ryan. So if you wanted to find this, just try to find an old email from when I sent it to you, or it'll be in your shared with me in Google Docs. That's where it'll be.
yeah.
Yeah, and anybody listening to this on YouTube, if you want access to this, just drop a comment and we'll get it for you.
So, as I've mentioned before, I'm a long-term optimist, but a short-term pessimist. And I like to play periodic devil's advocate. And I also like to look at all angles of things. And one of my, well, you could call it a gift if you want to see the optimistic side of it, but I explore all angles of things, and especially if a part of me feels like something is too good to be true, I really will look deep. Anyway, I was looking at stuff recently, and I came across this article that I just put in chat. that comes from fair.org, which is it's a website, Fairness and Accuracy in Reporting. They are both progressive and they are left leaning, just to be, totally transparent.
Mhm.
But the the article is basically, it's an interview, but they're basically saying that the whole crypto thing is just a complete Ponzi scheme.
Mhm.
And when I read through it, I mean, they make some fair points. And so, when I read something that's like this is pretty extreme on the other side, right?
Yeah.
Of like the whole, crypto world. It's very extreme to the other side that's saying like, it's bad, it's all bad. But they do make some fair points, and some fair arguments. So I thought it was worth sharing. Take it for what it's worth, leave what,
Yeah. I
So
can't
thought
remember I can't remember if I shared this last week or in a different video, but I've been really trying to dive into all the things going like against Bitcoin and
Yeah.
cryptocurrency blockchain. Anybody talking bad about it, I want to listen to them because I do want to also listen to the naysayers.
Yeah, I think it's important to like read the counter argument.
Mhm.
Absolutely. I mean, they're like digital Chuck E. Cheese tokens.
I know they're like
Pretty
this
bold
is
statement.
oh man. Just in the sense that there's literally nothing underneath it.
Right. I mean,
Oh.
and if you think about it, like, and I think that they mention it in this, when the internet really took off and the World Wide Web, like everything really blew up, as far as like websites. And there was this huge economic world built on kind of nothing,
Mhm.
in a weird way. And there was a .com crash, because of that. So, it's not like it was totally nothing, but there was something in, it wasn't as big as, there was, it landed in the middle, right? Of the speculation and
of the .com.
right.
I see what
And
you
that's kind of, I think that's kind of where this is all happening, like there's this huge thing happening and it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I think that we're going to land somewhere in the middle at some point, but there is going to be a crash and it's going to be big and it's going to hurt a lot of people. It's going to make a lot of people wealthy, but then it's going to hurt a lot of people also at the same time. Like, kind of like the .com thing did. So
yeah, because
like,
not all the projects and cryptos are gonna make it current.
That's right.
So if we're investing in the wrong ones, then we're gonna crash. But if we're investing in the right ones, then just like people thought Yahoo was gonna make it, so we invested in Yahoo over Google in 1999. Like right now, you wouldn't be as good as you invest in Google, but in 1999, Google was like really not even there.
Right. And they do talk about the way that, and I know that we've talked about this here, the way that all of this is being kind of marketed. It's kind of being, it's about trending. It's not based on any kind of foundation of reality per se. It's just like, Elon Musk twitters about freaking Dogecoin and it just goes off the charts, right? Okay, so what?
Yeah, no, I do agree with you, and in many ways there are coins that are backed with nothing. Like they're called the poop coins, and they're pretty transparent about that. And then on the other hand, though, me being the devil's advocate for what that you just said is there are coins like the Ethereum or the Tezos or the
Mhm.
Cardano, which there's actual applications and you can build
Yep.
onto. So which are, there's a handful of them, and
Can
there's
I say
Right.
something when you get a chance?
Oh,
Of
100%.
course.
Yeah. I was just gonna say,
Um,
there's tens of thousands of cryptocurrencies and only a handful of ones that are like, you can build video games, you can build contracts on, you can build things. So I do think there's a very small number of players that have a huge ability to change the world versus like the
Yes.
Doges and the this and that, which aren't backed by
Yes.
much. But what do you want to add, Tom?
I was going to say the way that I look at the evolution of the internet as to what we're watching right now, like back in the 90s when it all like first started becoming public, the internet 1.0 was just like, sharing pictures or information and documents and stuff. People went on the internet primarily just to learn about things or to look at pictures and to research. And then like around the 2000s, like 2000 to 2010, that's where we started moving into Web 2.0. And what that was is like the internet evolved into social media where people got online to share pictures, videos, informations, to talk to each other, and that's how the internet evolved into that. But right now what people are talking about is Web 3.0, and the difference between Web 3.0 and Web 2.0 is, like I mentioned, social media. People go online to use platforms, and when you use platforms, you're basically renting a house, like in order to do your information. You know what I mean? You're renting your space on the platform, and they're making money off of the information that you generate for that platform. And what I'm getting to is that Web 3.0, the thing that's substantial about that is it gives more power to the individuals rather than these big corporations and tech companies. So say rather than renting the platform, you would own your own house. Every single bit of information that you generate on the blockchain is valuable, and you can get compensated for that. And why I think it's going to be a big deal is because that could potentially be a way for that could be a potential source for universal basic income, is if people were actually rewarded for the stuff that they contributed to the digital economy. And that would take a lot of power away from these big tech platforms who are just hoarding all the information that you just give to them for free, and they're making money off of that. Like that's why I see Web 3.0 being a big thing, is because it just gives more power to individuals, and it just takes power away from those big tech companies, and it lets you do stuff on the internet more freely with more trust without having to trust people, which is nice about the blockchains. But I think it's going to be a big deal because it's just going to make things more secure on the internet. It's also going to introduce like artificial intelligence and stuff like that, like smart contracts being able to like do stuff. Sorry, I'm kind of going all over the place, but there's a lot of potential for Web 3.0, and that's why everyone's hopping on the train right now. And I agree with you, there's going to be a big crash like at some point, because there's a lot of people who are just creating these projects, like saying a bunch of talk, but there's no substance behind it. And there's a bunch of people new to the space who are just believing anything that they hear, and they invest in this stuff when they hear stuff from like Elon Musk saying, oh yeah, I just threw like $1 million in Dogecoin. They're all just like, oh shit, Elon did it, I must do it too,
Really?
And so I do see a big crash happening in that aspect. However, much like the dot-com boom, there's going to be companies that stick around like Google, Amazon, all of that. And there's going to be cryptocurrencies and blockchains who are just going to stick around just like that.
Right. And so the question that I have back, as far as like you touched on something interesting, talking about like Web3 being a space of like the people's space, we'll call it, right? Where people could have their own space and rent it out. So am I quoting you back right?
What I meant by that is that when you use platforms like Facebook or YouTube, you're the product. And the reason why you can use it for free is because those big tech companies are making money off of the information that you generate that they sell to advertisers.
Right.
And what I'm saying is with Web 3.0, it would take all of the revenue that the tech companies are getting, and it would bring it back to the individual for all the information that they generate, because I believe that people should be compensated for the information that they provide to the internet, not just some third party because you're using their software.
Right. And I understand that analogy. So how does, I guess where I'm missing the leap is, as somebody, let's just say I don't invest in Web3, right? I'm just a person who gets on the internet.
Yeah.
How does that work for me?
So let me throw out a project here. There's this project called Basic Attention Token. It's a blockchain project that basically rewards users for watching advertisements and stuff and being able to be advertised to. There's ways that users can provide information or services and be compensated to that, because advertisers want. Basically, what I'm getting at is that information that you're able to offer to the blockchain, whether it be advertised, like what you like or your opinions on things and stuff. Right now, like advertisers are paying tons of money to these big tech companies because they gather that information and get it. However, there could be decentralized projects where individuals can offer that information to like a smart contract that would then pay them in relevant sorry, I'm having a bit of a brain fart right now.
It's okay.
Basically, it would be just how the big tech companies are getting paid for advertisements on a smaller scale, and for all the information that you provide to, like, say, the smart contract, it would compensate you in relevance to that. So am I making a good effort here? Like,
sort of. I mean, I hear where you're going. Like, I get where you're going. My pessimist side is like, I really doubt that the big companies and corporations are going to let that happen, right?
They're trying their best,
of course,
to stop that. Yeah,
right. Because that's relinquishing their power and their money, and their the possibility of that is like, to hear that could possibly occur, just knowing, like, what I know and what what we obviously all know, any of us who are aware and awake and paying attention for any length of time knows that, like, that's going to be a fight.
but here's the thing. These big tech companies are noticing it right now, and that's why you hear them all hopping into the crypto space and hiring developers and all of that. And the thing is if they were to build these smart contracts, you can program into these smart contracts, whoever created these programs and stuff, they get compensated every single time someone uses that smart contract as a fee. So, like, say Facebook creates this smart contract that pays you for the advertisements that you watch or listen to and stuff. They get a small percentage every single time someone uses that contract. So right now, these big tech companies are racing out there trying to make these contracts so that people would still use stuff that they would get paid for, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes more sense. They're still getting a slice.
Yes, they realize they can't beat them, so now they're joining them. So now they're racing to create these products that people will use that will still funnel revenue into their pockets.
Yeah, they still got to get a slice. They're not going to give it all up.
They're not going to give it all to the people, are they, Kelly?
That can't happen.
But yeah, you can't beat them, join them.
Yeah, I mean, and the thought of a UBI, I mean,
what is that? A UBI?
A UBI,
Universal Basic Income.
Just the the thought of that is
Nationwide
Um,
basic income.
Yeah,
would be good, yeah.
nationwide. I mean,
Mhm.
you know, the very people that it stands to rescue and help are the ones that are saying, no, 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 we can't have that. Um,
No, yeah. We got a lot of
Stockholm
work. We got a long
syndrome.
ways to go over here.
Like, I'm all for it. Please, 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 you know, like, good Lord, you know, like, give us some UBI and give us some, you know, socialized medical while we're at it. Please, just come on.
Just, just a
People,
little bit of red tape.
let's get with the program. But
Mm. Well,
anyway,
that was really good.
That's another conversation.
I'm glad we went there. I'm glad you were brave to say that you were pessimist and, you know, devil's advocate, Kelly. Thanks for being courageous, because that
Yeah.
led into a great conversation that a lot of
Yeah.
people are feeling. It's not just you, you know, we're also,
Yeah.
even as confident as I am in this space, I'm also, you know, nervous for, you know, is US going to shut down all access to crypto exchanges?
Yeah.
And then we don't get any of our, you know, it's like there's risk, but I have more optimistic side to all of this than I have the, you know, on the other shoulder. So I think we go back and forth, but also I think I remain positive and optimistic.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you gotta like explore all angles.
Yeah, I'm just so curious, and I like to taste things so much. I'm like,
Yeah.
the space just seems like such a vast sea, and I feel like I'm just like floating alone. But I think someday there'll be like all of a sudden dolphins and people and boats and
Dolphins and people in boats.
dolphins, people on boats to swim in the cryptocurrency ocean.
There might be a shark or two, Matthew. So
there will be,
keep your
for
eyes
sure.
open.
Yeah, I'll have some seals around me that I can throw to the sharks. So
Oh, wow. That's pretty cutthroat.
I'm not throwing any. That's just my Dogecoin that I'm selling.
You don't have to be the fastest swimmer, just not the slowest.
You already know. Sweet. Well, it's 9 o'clock. We'll respect the time and take off. That was a great session. Ryan, how you doing over there? Are you getting the wallet created?
No, I'm just dealing with work stuff and while also listening, but
I had hope that you
on.
figured out the Polygon thing.
No, I'm gonna do that at some point, but I just got a very, very busy day.
For sure.
Yeah.
Cool. Well,
Hey,
still
Matthew,
good.
you got an extra minute after?
Yeah. You want to hang on
Okay, cool.
out here? Yeah.
I'll talk to you guys later. I got to split.
Yeah, we'll
Thanks,
see you later,
Tom.
Tom.
Y'all have a good
Bye,
one.
Ryan. Hope you
Yeah,
feel better.
Ryan. Yeah, we'll see you
bye-bye.
soon.